Welcome to Foundation Focus. Hello, I'm Tom Jones, your host, and today we have a very special guest, Kerry Padrick, the Chief Communications Officer for the school district. Kerry, welcome to Foundation Focus.
Well, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
I'm really glad to see you. You're a guest at least once a year. I hope in the future more often, but I know you have a busy schedule. This is the time of year where we begin to focus on teacher grants, and then we switch into our scholarship program very shortly. But I wanted to, first of all, welcome you, and I just wanted to mention to the audience that Kerry Padrick is not only a senior level officer with the school district, but for me, it's very personal. You're a big benefactor for the foundation, and I wanted to thank you for all of your efforts and all of the support that you have given me as well as the foundation over many years. So it's always a pleasure to work with you. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself? Let's start that off. How's that?
Well, thank you. First of all, I am a 28-year member of St. Lucie County's team. I have been a teacher, I've been an administrator for the district, and I'm also a mom of two young men who have grown up through St. Lucie Public Schools. Both have graduated and gone to college, and I'm very proud of the fact that they've been St. Lucie Public School students, and they've done very well for themselves. So it's through the efforts of the Education Foundation and through the great teachers and people in the community that support St. Lucie Public Schools that we are where we are today. St. Lucie Public Schools is making great strides. I'm very proud of that fact. And what I'm currently doing is supporting communications for St. Lucie Public Schools, both internal and external. And through the many hats that I wear, I am able to share the great news that we have to share. St. Lucie Public Schools seen tremendous growth in its graduation rate, and we have seen literacy rates rise, and thanks to you and the grants, we are seeing that continue to rise because of some of the programming that we're able to put into place into our classrooms and into our schools.
Well, thank you, Kerry. Appreciate that.
Innovations that are taking place in the classrooms and the creative things that our teachers are able to do. Sometimes we have these wonderful ideas, and there are just not funds available through state funds to do that, and we need to look for creative ways. And through grants and other means, teachers are able to do that. And so the Education Foundation is one of the ways that we are able to do some of those creative things.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, we were created in 1990, probably going on close to 30 years now, 27 years or so. And the teacher grant program is our oldest program and the largest. We've been doing that probably close to 25 years. And the effort for the foundation, just so the audience knows, is that we're a 501c3, and what we do is we raise money from the public through either businesses or from individuals. And we're very blessed in that we have a state matching grant program for scholarships. And what that really means is that the state of Florida each year for the last 5 years has allocated a group of funds where they will match dollar for dollar every donation that comes from either an individual or a private business. And this year our match opportunity was $55,000, which means that if the foundation was able to raise $55,000, then we can provide $110,000 in grants. It's been a very wonderful journey, but also a difficult journey. We've never really quite reached that goal of taking the entire match. But this year we got very close. This year we raised a total of $32,000. Okay, so I'm sorry, more than that. I apologize. My math is off. We're giving we funded the teacher grant program with a total of $72,000.
Wow.
So that's what 30, whatever the math is. Okay. And I'm a former banker, right? So, and that's a record. Last year we were at 64,000. The year before that at 50,000. So we're very proud that we're on this journey to taking the match. I will be up in Tallahassee in January, meeting with our legislators, asking them to support the program. We did have some cuts this year. It was a difficult budget year, but we're hoping that we can bring those funding dollars back up. So the teacher grant program is has just finished this year. I sent out an email to the principals to let them know about all of their the folks in the district that have gotten the teacher grants, and we're right now in the process of developing an email blast to all of the winners. Now, I say email blast because we have a new automated system, so we know it has some capability in doing that. But I thought it might be really good, because we were scheduled to do this show today, is so we could, for the first time, publicly name all of the winners, okay? So, and then, but before we do that, okay, one of the things that the foundation has been doing in the last couple years, and this is an outgrowth of all the wonderful things that are happening with the school district, and I know the public senses this. The school district is on really a great journey. There's a lot of energy, there's a sense of urgency, and what we've done at the foundation is try to align our teacher grant programs with the major priorities of the school district. I thought you might just spend the time, just before we read all of the winners, that you could tell us some of the points of pride, okay, that are out there with the school district, and where you're headed and where you want to be, and then we can segue into the teacher grant programs which are supporting those major priorities.
Well, certainly we do have major focus areas for the district, and student achievement, number one. We want to make sure that all students are graduating college and career ready, so that when they leave us, they have a very grand opportunity to move forward toward their own personal goals. And each and every one of us are committed to that. And Superintendent Gent makes it very, very clear that that is our priority. And so we do everything we can to personalize that learning and make sure that no child is indeed not attended to. So that personalization of the learning, so that we can help the students achieve their goals. Doing so in a very safe and secure environment, which is a very important goal as well. Now, to make that happen, we've got to make sure that we've got that quality instruction with quality instructors. So professional development for our staff is also a very, very important component. And working together with the communication and the community is also a key component, and that is something that you've helped us with as well, working to gather all those partners in and bring people in to support the efforts of St. Lucie Public Schools. We've got Big Brothers Big Sisters joining the efforts. We've got some of our banking partners working to help promote the literacy efforts, working to help promote the arts, and some of these grants I know that are going to be awarded today have great literacy links, have
Absolutely,
great mathematics
yeah.
links, the science and the technology and the arts you just see blended throughout. It's tremendous, because when we see those type of things come through, that engagement factor, the interest of the students is just, it's elevated to such heights that when we engage the students in the classroom, when we entice their interest and we connect that to the standards of their instruction, and we make those classrooms so inviting and energized, we create those environments that are magnetic, and the kids just thrive. And we see that taking place because our graduation rates are soaring.
That's terrific. Yeah, then they really jumped last year, didn't they?
Absolutely, they did. But what's even more exciting is that over the next few weeks, we are just eagerly awaiting for the state to release the new graduation rates. And I know the superintendent has alluded to the fact that we are going to see even more of an increase this year. And graduation rates are an indication of how we are doing overall, because that's really the end result of a student's journey through our K-12 system. And so, you know, while we've had great news, just like you've shown that positive trend with the Education Foundation, I know that our community is going to be so pleased to see these new results of St. Lucie Public Schools graduation rates. Quality education system, the community is looking to see everything that we are doing to support this community with a quality education system.
That's terrific. There's a lot of great news, a sense of urgency in the school district. The audience might not know, because the school district did not advertise this because it wasn't that critical to them, but the school district offices were flooded during the hurricane, and there was a lot of disruption. But and I know part of your strategy was not to focus on that at all. It was to focus on the schools and focus on our children to get all the schools back. But the school district was really challenged, and in that challenge, I was moved over to Fair Lawn Elementary, and it's really been a blessing for me. So I'm out of the corporate offices, and I'm back in the second grade, okay? And I've actually had the opportunity with Pam Holmes, the principal, to tour the school, actually talk to the students, and I'm walking the hallways, with my badge on so they know who I am. But it's really nice to see a school of excellence and see the learning in progress. And Pam Holmes said to me that, and I just said to her, you know what I noticed about your school? She said, what? I said, it's so quiet and so neat and clean. And she said, it better be, because that's the foundation for a good learning environment. And if you notice, if you go into her school, the kids are learning, and they're excited, and they're watching, and it's a wonderful experience. So that whole journey for me in terms of the foundation it's been a good thing, even though there was a point where we were all scattered about. And
one of the things that I know you've heard Superintendent Gent say it, and we've all heard it, and the expectation is, like the waters, we will rise above it.
That's exactly right, yeah.
and you're right, the focus was on our children. We wanted to make sure that our children were back in place and that there was no interruption to schools. And we certainly have risen above it, and we look forward to brighter days ahead, and I think it's been a good thing for all of us to get into schools, and I love being with the children. That's why we're here.
And you're where? You're at Allapattah Flats,
I'm
right?
At Allapattah Flats,
yeah.
Having a great time there, being with the kids. Yes, we will definitely rise above it, and that's just a testament to the quality of the staff that we have here, which brings me to one other point of pride. St. Lucie Public Schools was named as one of the best places to work for St. Lucie County for the year
terrific.
2017.
Congratulations, that's
so
great news.
Very proud
great
of
news.
that. Yeah.
That's terrific. Well, listen, I just wanted to mention to you, in terms of what the foundation does, is our focus is on 6 key categories. We focus on literacy, because we want to help our children read better. We focus on the STEM programs, or STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. We also focus on career and technical ed, because we want children to graduate career focused. And we also focus on programs that help our students go to college, so we help our graduation rates. We also help our struggling students, so those that have, sort of made it through the 3rd grade, which I understand is sort of a critical choke point for all of our children, especially in literacy, and then and as they move on, if some of those students are struggling, we try to help those students as well. Then of course we try to help in terms of talent development, which is very important to us. And that will be more of a focus for the foundation in the coming years. So actually our categories are all broken up in terms of our grants by those one of those 6 categories. And this is not in any order, but the first is CTE, which stands for Career and Technical Education. And this is the program, and my understanding, Kerry, that most of our students are in some sort of a CTE program in the school district. And what this does is this helps our students graduate either work ready or graduate with a career focus. So they may go on to college and all, but it's with a focus. So for us in the foundation, this is a key area. So why don't you just read off the applicant's name and the grant title?
All right. So yes, we are in the career and technical piece of it, and Dana Caputo received a grant for the criminal justice investigation at Johnson & Wales University of Miami. We have Cindy Swartfager, who received a grant for a fictional culinary adventure. Karen Krakow with St. Lucie County Marching Band Showcase. And I believe this year was the first year of that.
That's
so
correct.
We're going to continue that again next year?
Yeah, this grant was actually funded early because we knew it was happening. It was the summertime it was being organized. So we had opened up the grant opportunity for Karen early. And we're going to do it again next year.
That was a very successful event.
A lot of fun, absolutely. Wonderful talent amongst our children.
All right. Margaret Chapa with Industry Certification Achievement Needs, labeled I Can. And Rebecca Loop with Have a Heart. That's from Treasure Coast High School, as well as the previous one. and Lanisha Robinson with the Treasure Coast High School's Criminal Justice. She received a grant.
We focused on some programs this year that were helping our students become certified, and that's part of the effort for supporting our students to graduate work ready.
And that's tremendous. One of the things that we can do with our kids in career and technical, they receive certifications, and those are things that can sometimes cut time off of years of college. They don't have to take some of the college courses. They've got certifications in place, and just absolutely tremendous benefits to students as they move into the world of college and work.
That's a very good point. I just want the audience to know that when you make a donation to the Education Foundation and you dedicate it to teacher grants, 100% of that money goes into that teacher grant program, and then it's very likely that it'll be matched by the state of Florida. So if you donate $1 to the foundation and label it for teacher grants, that's $2. So if it's 100, it becomes $200, and on and on and on. And so very often that money will go right into a program like helping a student be certified. So it's really terrific. The next category is increasing graduation rates, which is obviously a real key effort for the school district.
Okay. So this first one goes to Dr. Kevin G. Perry, and it is St. Lucie Music in Our Schools concert.
Yeah, this is a re-grant. We've been funding this program for many, many years.
And Stacy Summer at Fort Pierce Central High School, first generation supporting at-risk students with college selection. Also a re-grant, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct, yes. Actually, Stacy created, or was one of the first teachers or guidance counselors to ask for funding for a program that helps students that would be the first in their generation to go to college or want to go to college. So she focused on struggling students to inspire them to say, you know, you can go to college. And maybe their parents have never ever gone to college, or there's no one in their family that has ever graduated from college before. So this has been a great program, and it's been picked up by other schools as well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It has definitely been a seed that has planted some inspiration in other places. Fantastic.
That's right, yes.
Fantastic program. All right, Aisha Nash, first generation college student program at Fort Pierce Westwood.
Yes, and actually Fort Pierce Westwood for a few years ago had the first generation program, and it went silent, and they brought it back. So we stepped in and funded it.
That's fantastic. At Savannah Ridge Elementary, we have Ashley Moore with Unique. And Treasure Coast High School, Ryan Hendrickson, You Beyond High School.
This is another first generation type program. So this is the benefit of Stacy Summer having a successful program that was funded in part by the foundation, and other schools seeing the benefit of it and starting their own first generation type of programs.
Okay. And we know that working with children in the early ages definitely helps with graduation. So here we have an elementary one at River's Edge with Elise Brainin. Don't be that kid at school, a behavior and growth mindset approach to reading.
Yep, this is a program which is both help reading as well as really sort of like an anti-bullying program. So this is a program that focuses the student on how to treat other people well. Right. And then we feel that core competency or that core behavior will help them as they move through the grade levels.
Right. Something we do take very seriously, and also supporting safe and caring schools.
Exactly right, exactly.
All right, so Weatherby Elementary, Autumn Stone, student selected books for the classroom library.
Yep, you know, one of the things that, as we were going through the grant applications, there's a lot of applications we're asking for technical type of things, iPads and different things like that. And we funded some of that. But the bias, at least for the committee, was for programs that would, for books or supplies or things that were that were very creative by the teacher. So not just technology. I mean, that's an important part of it, but we also wanted to help out. So this was a library or a media center, if you will, right? That really just needed some books. So we stepped in and purchased books.
Okay.
And the next area is helping students who are low performing.
Okay. All right, we always want to help scaffold so we can move children up to higher levels. So this first one comes from Alapata Flats with Melissa Nelson, using technology to help enhance student achievement.
So there it is again.
There
Yeah,
you
using
go.
technology, right.
Also from Allapattah Flats, this is multiple individuals with Rebecca Wilson and Georgia Carey, encouraging bright futures through leadership. From C.A. Moore, Kelly Johnson, Engage C.A. Moore, a math program.
That's exactly right. That's actually a math program. If we have some time, we'll talk a little bit about that. It's a very interesting program.
Okay. And Shauna Lee Reeves, who is an EBD teacher, new science-related equip for EBD students, making sure that we can reach all children.
Let's see. Now we're over into the title of what was the CTE? Let's see if I have one right here. Are we in the right area? Okay, this is CTE.
Okay. So we have some additional
We
career
do,
and technical.
yeah. We have some more here, it looks like.
All right. So from Manatee Academy, Carrie Harris, critical thinking and problem solving and decision making, a growth mindset. And Mariposa Elementary, Ashley Henderson, Mariposa Math Club. And Treasure Coast High School, April Sherwood, Tech for Teens.
And then finally, the category is STEM, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math.
Okay. And from the district office, Mr. Paul Reef, something that is just around the corner, and we look forward to this every year, the 30th annual St. Lucie County Regional Science and Engineering Fair STEM competition.
That's a big one.
And you support that well, and you have for many years. Thank you so very much.
Well, I'm a judge, and I'm telling you, when you see the projects that are out there, it's just amazing, absolutely amazing how smart our children are.
And every year we have students going all the way to international fair and coming
absolutely.
back winners. That's amazing.
It's a thrill.
All right, so Fairlawn Elementary, Michelle Powers, STEM Lab K through 5. Or excuse me, STEAM Lab. We've got the
right,
arts involved
yes.
in that one. STEAM Lab K through 5. Lincoln Park Academy, Lena Rao, Investigating Science. Mariposa, Patricia Gomez, Coding a Path to the Future. So we're working with coding down in elementary school. That's tremendous. And also from Mariposa Elementary, Jennifer Scapani, Time to Wrap Up Our Facts. Morningside Elementary, Lori Foley, Little Bits, Coding Kits.
It's another coding kit, yeah.
Parkway Elementary, Natasha Alexander, Let Us Be Healthy with Green Thumbs.
Yeah, this is a wonderful program. This is a garden. When I saw this, I said, we got to vote on this, guys. Come on. It's a garden. So it's science involved in it
Yes.
and health involved in it.
Yes.
It's just a wonderful program.
And I'm sure that our folks in the child nutrition department will also be involved in this. Very heavily involved they are
Absolutely.
with our children and the healthy eating and farm to table. So from Treasure Coast High School, we have Danielle Thal with differentiation and growth in mathematics. And from Village Green Environmental Studies, we have Colleen Wilson with hands-on science experiences at Village Green.
Well, there it is. Okay, that's about. Well, if I were to, actually, there's a few more, but if I were to add these up, it's about 30 grants. And we talked a little bit about the urgency at the school district level and the points of pride and the wonderful things that are happening. I could tell there's something going on because normally we receive 60 to 75 applications. This year, over 100. So there's a real need out there. So the teachers were calling me and texting me and sending me emails going, Tom, are the grants ready, and all of that. So it was a very difficult process because, the need is always greater than the funding that's available. So, what I'd like the listening audience to know is that your money will not only be matched by the state of Florida, but it will go to a great cause. It will help out. And I thought we have about 4 or 5 minutes. I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the programs, just to give the listening audience a sense as to where their money is going. Because because at the end of the day, it's all about the children, right. We talked about the category of low-performing students. There's a program that you had mentioned called Engage C.A. Moore. And this is actually a math program. So what it really does, it helps students deepen their understanding of math by supplying everyday items, and this is low tech, and I love it. Okay, it's items like clothespins and popsicle sticks. And the way I envisioned it by reading it is that we're going to fill this classroom with all of these household items, and they'll be able to understand how math concepts deal with their daily lives. So it's really a way to really bring the math concepts into real world situations.
And you know what's great too is that when we have things like this in our classrooms, the schools then do math nights and family nights with parents, and we use similar items like this. And so we just take it and we take these same concepts into the household, and students see it in school and they see it at home, and it makes it so much more meaningful.
You know, you're absolutely right. In fact, I'm looking for it right now. There is another grant. I'm jumping around a little bit under literacy, and it's called Parent Engagement. And that's an after-school program. And there are several after-school programs here, which I think are just terrific. And this is really to engage the parents in the students' classroom. So, you know, that's what really works. And the good thing about the low-tech items is that they have a long shelf life. So these supplies will be in the classrooms for many, many years. And one of the applicants brought that up, that this would be moved on from generation to generation. So, so one of the programs was really just to fund a lab. They have a lab, and they wanted to fund the lab, and they wanted to buy things like microscopes and a rock kit and stethoscopes, just things that they need to engage the students, not only in science, but to understand how science and academics has a lot to do with your behavior. And this teacher was trying to encourage the proper behavior by inspiring the students to learn about the wonder of science. And so these are things that we can purchase. The school, the classroom just didn't have enough of them. And I had one applicant said that her biggest challenge was that when she inspired students like with microscopes, and they only had 2 or 3. Right. She wouldn't it be wonderful if they had 5 or 6, because the students wanted to see right away. So we were funding some of that.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So and then in terms of literacy, I had mentioned a program called "Don't Be That Kid," and this is the funding to purchase books and study guides to teach children what not to do in school, and that behavior will follow them all the way through middle school and into high school and help them graduate, as well as read. And that one particular program will impact 332 low-performing students. And the books could be used year after year after year. This is a bit of a pilot. If it works out, we had spoken to the author, so if it works out, then we'll look to find other schools.
This teacher is also the president of our St. Lucie Reading Council, so I'm sure this word is going to spread even further.
Absolutely, absolutely. We also funded a program under literacy to purchase books, and it goes on and on and on and on. So we're running out of time, Kerry. I can't believe where it went. I just want to thank you for coming here today.
Thank you for having me.
Listen, when you have good news, okay, about all the graduation rates, let's have you stop back in and tell the audience all the great news.
I would love to do that.
Well, thank you very much, Kerry, and thank you to everyone. As this program wraps up, we're in the holiday season. I wanted to thank everyone for supporting the foundation, and I want to wish everyone a happy holiday season.